This is Proper Football, the podcast where we talk about everything that encompasses the beautiful game outside of the 90 minutes. I'm your host, Paul, and I'm joined by former MLS ballers Rodney Wallace and Ethan White. What is up, gentlemen?
What's up, gang?
Boys,
beautiful day.
Beautiful day. Huge day. Some major news. I mean, this sport doesn't stop for us. We talked yesterday. You wake up this morning, you see the news about the U.S. women's national and men's getting the actual application in to get everybody on equal pay. I know it hasn't been 100% agreed, but that's fucking big news, right?
That is big news.
That's
huge.
really nice. That's
been
really
going
nice.
on that's been going on for years since the lawsuit, right? Like it's
been working for that.
Yeah. So anyways, hopefully that will work out because it actually happens that the men's contract is done. So they have to sort of agree to this. And then the women's is about to run out and then everything can get on even keel. That would be fucking nuts, no?
But you know what that does? That just brings the NWSL, that brings that up more just because now there's competition because that's how they make the real money right there.
Right.
You get to the national team and that's when you're really on the scope and you're getting your dollars. So
also think about those millions that are made when you're a winning team. And like versus the men's versus the women in a World Cup, it's insane. 30 million, 4 million. I mean, it's madness. It's madness.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so first, how's everybody doing? How's your week going, guys? It's middle of the week. We got all kinds of football happened, and then football still to come. How's everybody doing, health wise?
I'm good, man.
Yeah,
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Intermittent
I guess
fasting.
Yeah, talk to us about that, please.
Intermittent fasting. You want to know about that?
Yeah, please.
I felt like I wanted to just get back into it. I feel like I did it a bit as a player. I just felt like I feel better throughout the day when I do that. So I started doing it again. But I put milk in my coffee, so you're not supposed to do that.
Well, you have coffee while you're fasting, right? So
yeah, but it's really about your caloric.
Your caloric intake
caloric intake during the times when you're not supposed to be eating. So you can have coffee because coffee doesn't have any calories in it. But once you add milk,
whatever you're adding in, right?
Yeah, and I don't.
So I do it from 6 at night to 8 in the morning. So that's my 14. That's my full break, no food. So that does the breakdown. Yeah, it's the same as you. You're doing the same thing.
I'm
doing
9 to
1
to 9. Yeah, 1 to 9.
That's dedication, guys. I'm happy for y'all.
Dude,
that's wonderful. Bro? That's wonderful.
Are you still are you still vegan, Rodney?
Vegan.
My man.
Vegan, bro.
Right, bro. Love
vegan.
that shit.
Blowing, man.
It's fucking nice, Paul. Thank you for the support.
It makes a big deal. It's a big deal. It's actually more complicated than most people understand it to be if you're not always cooking for yourself. Like, at least that's the thing I've found is that I guess it doesn't really matter when you're going out. Usually you probably even eat beforehand because, when you get to a restaurant, there's nothing you can be able to eat unless the restaurant's very thematic, like has those options. You probably checked online. Mm-hmm. It is a bit of a fucking pain in the ass, but when you're cooking for yourself, it's down beautiful. The road, it's amazing, dude. It feels so clean. But do you eat any of that like beyond like that plant-based stuff?
Yeah, I do. Just because I'm still it's been a year, so I'm still in a in-between process where it's not just vegetables. So now I'm discovering the whole vegan world. So
you're in the seitan, huh? In the seitan.
I'm eating, Taco Tuesday, a little Beyond Meat here and there, and it tastes literally it's the same thing. And
it's nice.
And my daughters eat it now. We brought.
They don't know any different, dude. The kids don't know any different. Come on.
Well, they my Ivy, she's 7, and we got takeout from a Mexican restaurant, and my wife. She bought him like these diced chicken skewers or whatever. And Ivy opened it and she was like, I don't eat chicken. What is this?
He said, I don't eat chicken.
She said, I don't eat chicken, So
is that a California thing or did this happen when you guys were on the East Coast? I'm being dead serious.
No, it's cool. It's cool. We were pescatarian. Well, at least I went from just eating everything to pescatarian. Yeah. Then we deleted as soon as we moved to California, we were on vacation. We moved to California, quote unquote. We came here for 2 weeks, and we watched that documentary. What's it called? Where
in the sea?
What the hell?
Terrible,
what the hell?
Nasty.
Or in the sea? The one in the water, or what the hell? The one in the water is crazy.
No. The one where you're talking about.
The one with the salmon eat each other,
and they're eating each other.
That was it for me because
that's like no ocean or no something or other. It's something along those lines.
They were shitting in the water, eating each other, and I was like, you know what? There's no reason for me to eat fish if I'm already here.
Can I throw this out? So here's my thing. I'm with you on that. I'm not eating fish either. But this is the thing. Line caught or actually, let's say it's caught by hand and you're eating it right there, wild style, I think personally I would eat it. I'd have no problem. I know some people out in the Caribbean. I know some people that eat fish all the time and they spear hunt. I would totally eat that fish. I'd have no problem on that. But
honestly, I think we've reached a point where you never know anything. You don't know anything. You don't know where anything is coming
from.
You're
there. You're on the boat.
And the Beyond Meat too. So it's
the
one
Beyond
of those things.
Meat. Like, where's the Beyond Meat coming? What's in the Beyond Meat? How
you have to check. You have to check like the ingredients, the plant-based everything, which is cool. And the Just Egg. Have you had that?
You're talking about the little flat thing for the sandwich?
No, it's the liquid egg that you just basically cook, bro. It's good,
Rod. Bro, so Just Egg. Just let me tell you, Just Egg actually makes for like on the go type styles, literally flat egg things to throw in an egg sandwich.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks disgusting.
It's good. It's good.
Nah, man, I'm
not
getting that.
Nah, you're pushing it. You know what I mean? At least cook it. At least make it feel like it's an actual egg.
You microwave it before you throw it in the sandwich.
No chance, bro.
Okay. So non-pescatarian, vegan, whatever, football, Champions League, Premier League. There's just so much to talk about. Why don't we start? Okay, because today's show, we want to talk about Inter's third kit with the Inter fan token. We want to talk about the injuries that just happened recently to an LFC Liverpool player. Ethan, we got to talk about this win that just happened in the Prem. Finally, you beat Norwich. I mean, we got to get into a little bit of that, right?
My man said finally.
What?
My man said finally.
Dude.
No, I'm joking.
No, but man, dude, it's big.
We also got to talk about we can talk about. What are you talking about? Arsenal right now? Talk about Arsenal
again,
let's talk
bro.
About Arsenal. Let's
talk about Arsenal all the time, yo.
Well, that's our thing.
We'll do it. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna win. We're gonna go unbeaten the next 5 games, and then y'all are gonna be talking about us. I'm not saying we're gonna win. I'm just saying we're gonna go unbeaten. We don't play anybody big. We play Tottenham. That's the next.
Nobody cares.
Exactly. Nobody cares. We'll be fine.
Nobody cares.
But I want to laugh at Manchester United. Manchester United lost to Young Boys. Shout out to Young Boys, by the way.
Yeah, Young Boys. That's huge, right? Like that.
I love the celebration. I love the
scenes.
I love the scene right after you score that goal and the whole team is running with you. There's no better sight. Right. There's no better feeling.
American boy too.
Who scored the goal?
Yeah, American boy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Jordan. Yeah.
That's amazing. I saw. That's huge. Well, dude.
I mean, for a young baller, that's
well, not only that,
that's what you dream of.
The club's history, right? It's a major step for them.
Huge. I mean, they still got to go to Old Trafford and get a result, but it's still.
But that goal will take him places too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the second ever in Champions League for Young Boys.
Huge.
Putting out. That's amazing. It's huge. It's huge. But Ronaldo got his goal. Can I bring something up? I know
I have one more thing, Paul.
Yeah.
When you. So when Jordan scored that goal, have you ever scored a goal and then thought, what if I didn't fucking score it? Like right after you score, you're walking back to the center circle and you're like, damn, what if I would have missed that shit? Have you ever thought about that? You know what I mean? Like, what if it would have gone the other way, man? I would have been the villain. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's just something that pops in my head after I was the
other thing I wanted to add to that is the other side. Jesse Lingard is the one who's been shunned for mad long for Manchester United, and then he gets his one chance, not one chance, but he's playing again. He has a fire international break, scores 2 goals, gets some assists, right? He comes back to Manchester United, gets subbed off, pulls off Cristiano. They bring him on. I remember what minute it was. It was late in the game.
Yeah,
and he's the one that fucking passes the ball back to the keeper, and the kid intercepts it, and they score. I'm like, oh,
terrible.
He might not play. He might not.
He
play
doesn't get to play again for a while.
He might not play for a few months. Yeah.
So you wake up in the morning thinking like it was just a fucking dream type shit.
Yeah, you're like,
that wasn't.
Did that really just happen?
Yeah, like, that's how you wake up. You're like, wow, what? Like now I have to go into training.
Though, for both players, for the guy that scored and the guy that gave up, and Lingard.
Yeah, but the guy that scored keeps going, doesn't go back in Switzerland and doesn't get the railroading that Lingard's about to get for the next.
No, he gets the opposite.
Weeks.
He gets the opposite. He gets the opposite, and it's still like that dream state where like, is this real? It's still that feeling for both.
So is that how you feel? So when you scored a goal, when you guys were playing and you score a goal, is it something that you just don't let go? It doesn't get left at the end of the game or off the pitch? Like you keep it for days and days and days until the next game? Or does
that moment replays in your head a million times and it doesn't feel real? You're like, so
that you can continue to repeat it because you want to repeat it over and over again?
I think I was thinking about it the other day, actually. I think it's like when you're in the moment, like, you know, in life, sometimes you're like, okay, this is a big moment. I'm going to remember this. And like, you actually like channel it and save it in your head. Like, right. I feel like when you're playing in a game and like let's say you hit a 30-yard banger, you're really just like, okay, I'm going to shoot. You're not thinking about, okay, I'm going to bang this shit up for 90. It's going to go up for 90. I'm going to go crazy. Right. So when you do and you actually bang it and it goes in the goal, for example, Jordan sees a quick chance, chases it on and taps it in the corner, right? Mm-hmm. He's not anticipating that moment, but he's not registered in his head like, okay, this is a moment I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. So it almost feels like a fake, like you're flashing back and it's like feels fake almost.
But is he doing what he was taught in training? Like,
yeah, of course.
It's robotic.
But it could be what he envisioned before the game. For example, for me, if I, like you said, do you remember plays for a long time? I got to a point in my life where I was trained not to remember plays, record just the good ones. Yeah. But anything after that, just let it go, because then it would be costly for me, especially in the middle of a game. If I missed a chance, which has happened, where it affects you for the first minute, second minute, and then you got to say, if I don't forget the shit now, then I'm gonna fuck around and not have a good game after this. So you have to figure out how to turn that chance into a positive and try to not make up for it, but how to learn from that mistake or not shooting or missing, and then how do you get the next one. So if you see a lot of top players, that's what they do. They miss a chance, they miss 2 chances, they miss 3 chances, but they get it in the 93rd minute and they'll score it again. They'll score it because they envisioned that. They got rid of the negative and they said, I'm going to keep going until I get my chance.
Did you ever envision, did you guys ever take the time before, like, I'm not talking about training, I'm talking about whenever it's your off time, whenever you were mentally preparing for a match, because you're thinking about stuff constantly before the game. Training's one thing, but that's just about getting it into a robotic system, right? Into your muscle memory. Like, it's just supposed to be doing. The mental part's a total different thing. So the question is, did you go, like, when you had your time where you're like, okay, this is it, this is what I'm planning to do at this game on Saturday or on Wednesday? Like, did you put that in your head ahead of time? I'll go with Rodney or Ethan first, whoever.
I think that comes down to the coaching as well. The coaches are supposed to be able to. A good coach will tell you exactly what the game plan is before you go into the game. So for a position like me, it's different for Rodney, because he was in a position to score goals. For me, it was like, I'm studying the person I'm defending, but also studying like how to provide assistance to the winger in front of me, but also to like be a part of the attack as well. So I'm not the things I'm envisioning are more like tactical than they are actually like big moments.
Positioning.
Yeah, it's more like positional stuff than like actual like, I'm gonna do this move.
Yeah, but you're envisioning it. You're saying that this guy's gonna I'm gonna go here.
But it's more being tuned in. Like, so for the reason why I said that is because in training, you should have done it so much that it becomes almost instinct. Like, I remember this one thing Patrick used to have us do, where it's like one person has to run into the space, one person has to provide width, and one person has to provide cover. And I remember one training that's like nailed into my head. I was like, okay, it clicked, and like that was just a natural thing you did. So like after a while, that's just one thing that you no longer have to think about. So I think a good coach will get you to the point where like you're not. It's not even like I need to think about what I'm doing in the situation. It's just like kind of like move robotics, and then like quick reading situations and doing those things. Because it's not like scoring goals. Like scoring goals is like a really like you get yourself in that position, but then you have to take a deep breath and execute. Like you're like, oh shit, I'm in the box. Like I'm about to take a shot on goal. Slow yourself down.
Yeah, but you're taking. For me, it's like, okay, this guy's saying, "Oh fuck, I'm in the box."
It depends on experience. It depends on your experience. Some younger guys might be like, that's why they have the saying, your eyes got big. Like you got in front of the goal and you're like, oh shit, I'm here. But like if you're a calm striker, will be like, okay, this is where I belong. I'm fucking open up, slot it far post.
Bang.
Yeah, you know. So I think like that comes with experience. Like Rodney was like just saying, short memory. That's something that comes with experience. A young 17-year-old guy in his debut who misses that chance that kid just had will probably think about that. Like, fuck, like I could have won. I could have got our second Champions League whenever. But a guy like Rodney would be like, fuck it. I missed it in the 91st minute. Another one's gonna come in the 93rd minute. I'm gonna slot that one.
But that comes with time. Nowadays, teams have sports psychologists. I mean, I think that all teams should have a sports psychologist, or if not, players should be seeking the extra help. I mean, it's nothing negative. It's actually something that will enhance your game. It's sometimes even better than actually doing fitness after training. Why wouldn't you train your mind way more important, train your mind in order to, when you get to those moments, it's automatic and you don't suffer your whole career when you could just do it at 19 years old. Just have a sports psychologist that you see every 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and you're banging goals or you're defending and you're just shutting people down. It makes a big difference. But players sometimes realize it too late, or players don't realize it at all. Some people are against it. They think it's,
but not in modern
not
football
necessary.
Today. In modern football today, I think it's part of the package. I think you have to speak with somebody.
You don't have. I mean, you can speak to somebody, and you
don't have to do anything. But I'm assuming that it's part of the regimen at this point. Like, I mean, the same with diet.
And also, but I think it comes down to how much you buy into it. I think
you have to take in that information.
You have to take it seriously. Like, I think, like Rodney said, a lot of guys will go run the extra stuff or do the extra shooting or do whatever it may be, which is important as well. But like, think about how important it is for you to, like, a lot of players will have walls in their head. Like, I can't do this, or I can't do this, or I need to get better at this. So I'm going to drill this into my head. When in reality, it could just be like, somebody needs to help you understand that why you keep doing the things you're doing, or why you need to break down these certain walls to get you to a space where you can actually perform your best. And I think it's accepting that, like, just like in regular psychology, like a lot of people go into regular psychiatrists and have walls up and like can't unpack things.
They can't unpack things. They can't open up and sort of dive in. Yeah. Well, listen, thinking about on the mental. Well, look, so thinking about the mental health of things and the mental sort of perspective on football, this is a perfect way to sort of bring up an injury that just happened recently to Elliot for LFC, young kid, right? It could have been. I mean, the surgery just happened, but I want to get into the psychology on injuries. And like you said, getting yourself into a mental space that once you've, let's say, had a surgery or gotten yourself into a physical place where you can start training again, how do you break down those barriers to be able to then do that tackle, do that sidestep, do the moves that had you there in the first place, that had put you in a position where months before you almost lost your career, and now you're expected to bring yourself back to that level or even stronger. We've seen plenty of athletes, plenty of footballers not be able to continue as they once did, but we've also seen, especially in the modern game with modern science and modern technology, some guys are coming back better and stronger than before. But the mental play that we're discussing here is the real factor, because the physicality, your body can only heal so much, or there's so many things that medicine can actually do. The rest comes down to both what Ethan, you guys are both saying about the mental prep. So I'll start with you, Rod, and then Ethan. I mean, you're both going to have great insight on this, but how does an athlete like Elliot, now that the surgery's done, go from straight up rehab, learning to walk again on that ankle, back to straight hardcore training without the protection bib, and then onto the pitch again, where and I know guys are not going to be soft and light on them like they are in training because they know about the injury. Rod?
Well, the beautiful thing now is that the sports medicine crew is beyond belief, where they're miles ahead of where they used to be. So now they're monitoring everything from the time you wake up from surgery to the time you literally step foot into your first match, however many months ahead. So for me, for example, when I did my ACL 2013, it was the last game of the playoffs. I was in Portland. We were playing Salt Lake, and I tore my ACL within 20 minutes. So that moment, that was 6 months before the 2014 World Cup. And not to say that I was guaranteed to go, but I was in a position to be there. I was in the position to go. I was getting called up for the qualifiers and everything, and then tore my ACL, and I was devastated. It was the end for me. It was, the depression just hit at its hardest. I was down and out for like the first 2 months. I was just like, you know what, this is shit. And it was just this big dark cloud over me. And then when I went to therapy, everything was so slow for me. It was I wanted to go, and then the doctors or the therapist would be like, "This is the first step, and this is the second step." So I finally had to get to a point where I had to believe in the system. I had to believe into the dive in and really understand what happened to me.
How long was the actual the physical recovery time?
6 months, 5-6 months.
It's a long time.
It's actually a really short time for an ACL. I mean, people come back in like 9
I don't mean
months.
that. Sorry, I mean that where you want to be where you were.
Yeah,
before that 6 months.
Of course, and I was trying to rush to get to compete for the World Cup. So I got to a point where I said, you know what, F this. I'm gonna go in and give it my all. And finally, I was focused on just getting stronger, getting back, and listening to my trainer, which he did an amazing job to this day, and the doctor as well, Dr. Edelson. To this day, I feel stronger than ever on my right knee. So I was working from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. every single day, nonstop. And I got to the second month, third month, and then month 4. And now I was on the pitch, and I was competing versus anybody else who was injured and was doing therapy. I was competing versus them and basically showing them that I could do double than they were doing.
Because you were doing double.
Well, yeah, but just I was mentally and physically stronger than whoever was injured or whoever was around me. So that was my competition, because I physically couldn't be on the pitch. And then finally, when I touched the grass and I put my cleats on, it was just a process of, okay, I have to double up on whoever's there again. So now we got to the point where I'm doing fitness, and there's a guy that he has let's say a hamstring, but he's kind of doing he's in the same process as me. The trainer would just tell me, don't take it easy. Just if you can burn anybody, just go and burn him, compete until you get to where you want to be. So finally it got to like the 5th month, and I was just pushing to get back on the field. I wanted to get back. I was like, it's so close to the World Cup. I want to get back. I want to get back. And then they sat me down and they said, you know what, like, look at the time frame. It might be very difficult for you to get to that international place where you want to be. So focus on the rest of the season. And
which in turn actually is the catalyst to get you to the national side, because you're looking at it.
I had to play. I wanted to play. Yeah. I wanted to be on the field. So I finally got to the place where I was comfortable enough. I was comfortable enough at 4 months. I was like, I'm ready to go. Obviously, it was too soon. So it got to the 5th month, and then 5.5, I was already. They loaned me out to a couple of USL games, and I ended up scoring in both of them, or scoring and assisting. And I didn't want to go on those games because I thought that it was a step down and they were doing me dirty. That's how I was young and just
young. And
my ego was so big. It was like, they're sending me on loan to Arizona and shit like that. And basically what they were doing is they wanted me to get 90 minutes so I can come back and play. Right. So then I went and did it. It felt like I felt like they were sending me away.
To Siberia.
So I did it. I did my homework. I scored whatever. I was supposed to play 45 and then play 75 minutes after. Came back. 2 games later, or a game later, I'm starting versus Orlando FC, and I get my first goal right away. 6 months to the T. 6 months in, got my first goal. Shit felt fucking amazing. I remember my celebration. I was like wiping myself down to basically say that like I'm just shedding this old fucking skin, and basically it's a clean slate.
A new version. Yeah.
And then the second half of the year, this was June, the second half of the year, I ended up scoring 5 goals and I don't know how many assists, and ended up getting comeback player of the year in 2014. So it was basically due to the mentality and the things that you believe you can achieve. And I was shitting on every single person, honestly, that was doing therapy or that was injured. And I saw them just being, you know how I am, E. Like, if I see somebody just being lazy, I'm just going to completely shit on you and let you know where you will be if you continue to do this. Right. So there was there was a younger player. What's his name? I don't remember his name, but he had like a back injury and he was just lazy as shit. And
let's leave his name out of this.
No, wait. If I would need his name, I will expose him. And I think his name was Steve something.
Doesn't matter, dude. Let it go.
No, I'm not. Because I told him, I said, look, bro, if you continue your shit, you're gonna end up next year on you're gonna be out. You're gonna end up on a USL team, and then
what ended up happening to him?
2 years from now, you're gonna end up not playing any more football. What happened? He ended up getting cut from the team and ended up trying to go and play for whatever second division team was available.
And now he's a mailman with a nice family, and
he's a great. I hear he's a great person. He still hates me till this day, from what I hear. But I told him, I said, work, or is this shit's gonna end, bro? And it ended. But hey, that's just me.
That's a fucking great story, Rod. Ethan, do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have a similar story. Like, I think as when you have injuries like that, like for what Harvey's about to go through, I think that when it first happens, you're kind of numb to like what's happening. Like you don't really know what isn't what. It's a project basically. Like you're rebuilding a piece of your body, and like, but also like the mental challenge of you're doing something every day, and now it's stripped from you, and like now you almost feel kind of disconnected from the team. You feel kind of isolated by yourself. Like you see the guys go out to the locker room, and you're fucking sitting there.
But you are disconnected completely.
You are disconnected. But like, I think it's upon you to like realize and accept that's the situation you're in, and like challenge yourself in different ways. So like, I almost feel like players, like I think myself or maybe I don't know how Rodney feels, but I know other players have said that like getting injured has been the biggest blessing because it makes you really cherish what you have, what situation you're in, what it takes to get there. Because when you're head down in the project and you're kind of just like going through the motions and like you really already built your body up to be in a situation where you're doing elite level things. You're running 10 miles per game. You're doing 3 to 5 miles every day in training. You're doing crazy shit. So then like when something is taken away from you and you're like, fuck, well now I can't do that. But in reality, you've taken years to build your body up to that point, to that standard.
Yeah.
To then be back at ground zero almost and be like, okay, now I'm trying to get back to that spot in 4 months is crazy.
Here's a question for both of you. Is the team, sorry, I'm really interested in this. So this is very exciting. Mm-hmm. Does the team carry a major responsibility in making sure that the injured athlete is properly connected to the team? Now, this is extremely important because you are literally ostracized. You have your training segments done. Everything is different. You're on a completely different schedule, and you sometimes cross paths in the gym or whatever it is.
Some of your mates, makes it feel worse. Almost makes it feel worse.
Right. And so my question is that something that is normally done, or is that something that the new modern club has to do, where they have to make sure that the injured athlete, and obviously we're talking about it like an Elliot who was getting major time, right, with the club, or Rod, you had major time with the club, or Ethan, to make sure you were constantly feeling connected and not left out, because that does play into the mentality on how you're getting yourself back fitter, stronger, and ready to get back to it. So is it their responsibility as much as the injured athlete to stay connected with the club, the first team sort of thing?
I don't think it's as much responsibility, because at the end of the day, the team has to keep winning. The team has to move on to something they're doing. But I do think it's upon your homies, a select few of your homies, like whether it's the guy you're riding in the car with the training, or like there needs to be a support system in place, and the coach should have conversations with you. Like people should still acknowledge you and talk to you, but like at the end of the day, when injured
you're not a
players. Injured players are always become mad tight. Injured players always become mad tight with the trainer, whoever trainer they're working with, and that is the bond that forms the most in that.
That's why they're still my homies.
Are they?
Those are the real ones.
It's because they're the ones that put the effort in to get your life and career back on path. So like you have,
they're the ones that are with you throughout the whole thing. They're the person you're talking to through the hard times. They're the people that answer.
What happens if you don't make it back? Let's say you've done everything you can. Like that's I guess it's obvious, and you just haven't made it back. You're done, right?
So
you get traded, or you.
So with me, I 2019 in Kansas City, I had a hip replacement. Literally, my first hip. I did my right hip, so I have 2 metal hips. So my first surgery was in May.
RoboCop.
It's amazing. I'm so smooth, like butter. My hips are amazing. Exactly. You should see me dance too. So anyway, I can get low. I can get low now. So I did my hip, and it was a career ending. The doctors were telling me basically like, this is it for you. You can attempt to get back. You might not be the same after the surgery. It will be up to whatever you do and how you perform and how you can handle it. But we strongly recommend you just letting this be it for you, which I already had that in my head that it was okay. I was done. Like, you don't need to sugarcoat it.
Wow.
I am getting this surgery to finally live a better life. It's okay. I did everything I wanted to do. Blessed, done.
Like a better life outside of football, you mean?
Oh yeah, to just live better, to just be happy. Because that shit took everything from me. I wasn't happy.
Miserable.
So I got the surgery, and at first I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is it. Like it's done, and that's okay. Got the surgery. I had to obviously learn how to walk and shit again. You were there, E. I was. It was a struggle. We were walking through New York on crutches, and
we walked the block. It took us like 15 minutes.
God, yeah, it felt like 2 hours. So I got back to Kansas City, and the sports medicine team there is incredible. Kurt, Tosh, Chris, Khalid, everybody. I got to a point where a week in or 2 weeks after that, I was already on the bike, and I was just biking away, and people were like, how the fuck is this guy on the bike already? And that's me again, putting myself in a situation where I'm competing, and I'm letting motherfuckers know, like, yo,
I'm coming.
This is how it is. This is how you put in the work. No, dead ass, because I'm also trying to push the young guys, especially the young guys that are hurt, or the young guys that come in the gym every day. I'm always in the gym. So I want to push them and let them know, like, yo, this is how you fucking do it. Especially if you're 20 years old and you're already on your way up, you're a starting 20-year-old player. Like, keep this going. Like, I want to see him in the gym with me every single day. So I was on the bike, I was doing the workouts, and then it just advanced to a point where I felt comfortable enough to just get rid of the crutches, and now I'm in my sneakers in the gym every day. So I'm putting in the work. And at the same time, while this was happening, I felt isolated. And I sometimes would just unload on the trainer. Like, they weren't, I felt like I wasn't being paid attention to. So I would have my sheet, and I'm like, I want somebody, because we're used to having somebody next to us, like, going through the process. I'm like, I would look around sometimes, and obviously they're busy because everything else is still going on, and they have to worry about the players that are actually healthy. And I'm like, yo, why Tosh, why aren't you here? You know, I don't even know how to do this thing, and you're over there. Like, it just feels like I'm not one of the guys. I remember saying that shit, and I looked around. I'm like, what am I talking about, bro? It took me days to realize it. And then I apologized. I was like, yo, my bad. You know how I get.
Yeah, but a lot of people aren't like you to be able to step out of yourself and say, wait a second, I've gone too far there.
That's why I said it comes with experience. Like, it's because Rodney and I have been in that situation before, where you're the injured guy and you're like, you were just the guy starting and playing in the game.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, the games don't stop. The team has to keep playing.
Nothing stops.
They need to make sure that the guys who are still performing and keeping the club, like, in the league are on the field. You know what I mean? Like, the trainer might have to go and make sure that the starting goalkeeper can fucking actually put his gloves on the next game, and not like Rodney's like out 6 months. Like that needs to be, obviously it's important, but like, he might have to take a back burner and kind of go through his own thing. But I think it takes a while to get there. So I think, like, for what Harvey's about to go through, I think, and if I don't know if you guys saw, but he walked into the hospital where he was going to get fixed, and a kid who broke his arm was like next to him. And again, Rodney's
Rodney, dude, what's going on in California, man? That's California construction.
Earthquake in California.
God, bro, what's going on in here?
Yo, man, the kid.
I'm suing the show.
The show didn't fucking put that place together.
This is all the equipment you guys sent me. All right, go on.
The kid broke his arm, and Harvey gives the kid his jersey and his boots. Like, that's a nice thing to do, obviously.
Oh, fucking amazing.
Incredible.
He also called out the guy and said it wasn't his fault. Remember that?
Yeah. But I think, like, that is, like, he's still, like, he's in a good spot, but I think, like, when he wakes up from the surgery and he can't get up and walk out, that's when it hits you. Like,
and 2 months from now, when he's not doing his regular pattern,
when he's still not in boots, he's still not in, like, that's when, like, I think it kind of goes like this, like, and you go in a rut and you come back up, you're like, oh shit, I'm back on the bike, I can fucking run, I'm on the treadmill, and then the trainer tells you, nope, you're still on the field yet. Now you need to do this, change the direction, and this, and then this, and then this, and like, but then when you finally get your boots on, it's like
you never look back.
Once you get your boots on,
you appreciate it all, and you're like, nah, this is where I want to be. I'm never going back there.
And then you tweak your quad just because it's normal.
No, because you put all this emphasis on one body part, and there's something else that pulls.
It happens every time. They factor it into your recovery,
into your rehabilitation and your sort of return. Guys, honestly, like, we could keep going about that, and I really appreciate you opening up, and I'm sure the listeners will be as well. I gotta ask. I don't give a fuck if everybody knows about this. Lukaku, he got his fucking goal. So did Ronaldo. This is really important. No one's asking me about motherfucking Chelsea, okay? And we got Champions League. We got Champions League today. We got Barca that lost. Yeah, but it's true. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, somebody asked me about Chelsea. Asked me about Lukaku.
Nobody cares because Ronaldo came back to Old Trafford and scored 2 goals.
Fuck. Lukaku's matching him. He's matching him. Whatever I can do, you can do better, dude. He's doing everything Ronaldo's doing.
No matter what Lukaku does, it will not compare to what Cristiano Ronaldo did.
In
his fucking first game back to bang 2 goals, and that's
he got him too. And then Lukaku does it. He does the same thing.
Yeah, but Lukaku is not at the same level.
I also feel Rodney. Like, no matter, even if you do the same thing,
he can score 4 goals.
You're not.
He could score 4 goals that game.
Quick question: are these guys going to go at it like they did in Serie A in the Prem? Are these 2 guys going to be the 100%. Top? Are they going to be the top of the pile? Is Son, is Kane, is Vardy? Are any of those guys going to be in the running? Salah.
He's hungry. You think Lukaku's looking at everybody else like, yo,
fuck you.
He's looking at everybody like food. Yeah.
I'm eating your food.
Yeah. And I like that because it pushes everybody else.
And he knows how to eat now properly because the Italians fixed him.
Yeah.
He's probably on intermittent fast vegan shit. No, it's true, Rod. They fixed him. He went in all bloated and he came out like a machine.
Love it.
He does look like a fucking monster. He looks different now. But
he's moving lighter. I like that.
He is moving lighter. He's a vegan.
But it doesn't matter because Cristiano Ronaldo did what people didn't. I don't even know if I expected him to do that shit. No, I didn't think
I did for sure, man.
Like he was gonna go and score 2 goals,
bro. You look at the team he's on. Why wouldn't he? The team he's on is, but they lost.
8.6 million viewed, the biggest Premier League viewed match ever of all time.
Yeah,
supposed. That's what they're saying.
But what about his what does that say about his mentality, though?
It's work. I eat quinoa, don't eat fucking crumble.
He's a killer.
He's a killer.
That's what he is. He's a killer. He doesn't give a shit about anything else but fucking being faster, stronger, and getting to the fucking.
Then all of you. He's got the mentality that you, Rodney, were just.
He's a fucking dog.
No, but that was the mentality you guys are saying to get through.
That's how you gotta eat. I remember one time when actually I think one of my favorite goals was when he assisted me in Orlando, and I knew it's just like Ethan said with Patrick. It was just a pattern play. So if Ethan knows what he's got to do with his 3 players on the right side, then I have to know exactly when the ball's coming. So learning each position from the opposite side of the field, it just helps. And Ethan and I have a good connection. We rode to practice every day together. So I knew exactly when he was going to cross the ball, and he knew exactly that I would be back post just because that's where I'm going. So he crosses it, goes right in front of the goalkeeper through the center backs and everything, and I just tap it in. But that's the shit that makes us stronger. And Ethan, before that play, he was like, "Yo, my hamstring. Was it your quad? He's like, "Yo, Rod, my hamstring, man." He was like looking around to get us up. I was like, what? Don't even fucking raise your hand, bro, because he wanted to do like the little substitute sign or whatever.
I was done. Bro.
Yeah, I think you went down and you tried to stay on the ground. I was like, yo, get the fuck up! Don't do this shit right now, bro. He's like, all right, I got this. Boys, and then he gets the assist. And then I'm like, all right, bro, you can get the fuck out now. We don't need
that's literally what happened. It was we banged the goals 2-0. I was like, yeah, I'm getting off.
Yeah, you called yourself off?
I literally, after I went over to Rod, I went to the bench. I was like, yeah, I'm out.
I was like, don't make it worse. Just go.
Yeah.
You got any goals of past weekend, this Champions League now that stand out for you before we wrap it up?
Not any goals. I'll talk about Bayern Barca. That surprised me. I wasn't expecting Barca to get stomped like that.
I did. Come on.
I mean, I did expect the result. I expected Bayern to win, but that was embarrassing. But also Barca.
But why was it embarrassing? That's a good question. Why? They lost.
They didn't look like Barcelona at all. Why is Barcelona playing 5 defenders? When has Barcelona ever played a flat back 5?
Yeah.
That's not Barcelona.
There was confusion. It looked like there was full confusion, but I think it's also they were against Bayern, which Bayern has to be one of the teams to. I mean, they're nonstop. They're just not losing.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Rod, anything that jumped out
this week?
Yeah,
the game yesterday.
Or the past weekend,
yesterday.
Or yesterday.
What I liked. I want to talk about NYCFC and what they're doing right now. What Tati Castellanos is doing. He's now gotten himself into the MVP race. And at first, it's funny because when I was in New York, he came in, and he came in, and honestly, he really took my position. And I knew he was coming in, and he was nice as shit when he came in, but he was like an 18-year-old kid, and he was fucking just hungry, and he was good, which made me just better. I just had to try to compete with this dude who came in with this new energy, and he could score, he could fucking dribble, he honestly can jump, he could do it all. And to see, and at first I was in my head, I'm like, man, I'm fucking beefing with the whole situation. But then, yeah, like him, the team, the fucking the managers, everybody catching it. But it's funny because obviously those are the people that become closest to you. So now Tati's like he's like a brother to me. But to see where he is now on the pitch, it's unbelievable. He's taking control of the number 9 position. And what I did like yesterday was that the team performed in a collective way with Medina backheeling the ball to Maxi Morales. He puts it in the back of the net. But when Maxi scores, he signals, he puts his hand above his head. So he's signaling, he's running to the bench, signaling basically Eber, which is the Brazilian.
The ball guy.
Yeah. The ball dude who's now coming back from an ACL injury. It's been like 10 months or whatever. Yeah. And he's the glue of the team. And I love to see that he went over to him, and the whole team went to celebrate, basically congratulating him,
like welcoming him back to the team.
Which is part of what we talked about before, about the team.
Yeah, that shit just gives me chills.
The fact that it's really the team and your homies. It's not the club. It's your crew that's got to make you feel. And
that's just a good sign.
But that's the shit that wins. That's the shit that wins championships, bro.
And that kind of familiarity, that kind of family vibe to a
just
team.
That kind of caring about your teammate, like. You got to go to war. If you're going to go to war, you got to care about the people, the dude that's next to you. So if that dude is down, he's finally back in the competition, and you feel that way about him being back involved, that team's going places, bro.
Yeah,
if you're that, like, if a moment where you score and you're going to celebrate with the guy who's been injured for 10 months, like, it's really different. Your moment. It's different.
It's different.
Listen, boys, just a reminder before we say goodbye that to leave a 5-star review for anybody that's listening on the podcast, Spotify, wherever they're listening to the show. Remember to subscribe to the podcast. Don't miss an episode. It always comes out on Thursdays. And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the proper football handle. And on TikTok, it's football, FUTBOL. Follow us, follow our own pages, but, stay in touch. Throw us DMs if you want to hear some stuff maybe brought up on the next show. Stay in touch. And enjoy the CL, Champions League this week, and enjoy obviously football on the weekend. I can't wait to see you guys next week and see how it's all gone. And Rodney, I wanted to talk music, so we got to talk music. You brought it up, and I'm fucking lit. I went through my playlist. No, I went over my playlist, so we got to talk. Let's bring this up next week because I put playlists together, and now that you got it in my head, you want to talk music.
Give me one artist that's on your playlist right now.
I'm gonna throw out Coffee, and you're going to go, what the fuck, hasn't done shit since 2019. I am telling you, this kid is going to, I want to see fucking.
I didn't know you had that in you. I did not. You did not know he had that in you.
Wait,
on my face.
I can't wait. I know exactly what do you think I listen to? Just the Specials?
No, bro. I don't even know who that is. So sure, yeah.
You don't know who the Specials are?
Chill. Nobody's attacking you, bro. We're happy for you that you listen to Coffee.
No, relax.
I say your coffee fan.
Yeah.
But anyway, Pogba after the win, he goes to the Burna Boy concert. That's what as players that love music and culture, that's what we want to see. We don't want to see a player that has to go and isolate himself and not celebrate and not live his own life, bro. Go to the concert, give him the jersey, get backstage, and go onto the stage and just turn up a burner.
Get your wine.
He's on another level. Remember, he's on another level. He doesn't give a fuck. He's doing his thing.
I love that. Hey, but I gotta go, man. Y'all are taking my time.
Well, we're taking your time. I'm so sorry.
I gotta go. I got shit to do.
Oh, shit.
All right, Rodney. Enjoy your day, bro. Rodney, have a good one.
Enjoy your day, Rodney. Absolutely. See you guys next week. Cheers.
All right, guys.
Bye.